Yes, sir.
Yes. Yes, last question. Your answer is completed.
Sorry, sir, I forgot that what you asked.
Yes, what are the qualities that an environment specialist need to be successful? How to change our society as a scientist?
Okay, sir. Uh, 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 is environment specialists should focus on reducing the pollution that will lead to a good environment or greener environment, and they should focus on how to reduce, I mean, how to reduce the carbon emission, how to reduce the wastage of water, energy, and all these things, how to avoid using the fuel, I mean, how to deal with the transportation with less fuel system. And also they should focus on the waste management. They should also focus on the and they should also focus on the waste management, and all this practice they should continue so that they could lead a healthy environment.
Yes, some part is good, but try to more explain. Yes. Next question. Suppose you will be selected in CPCB Scientist B. What are the major challenges will you face during your scientist life? How will you manage them as a scientist?
Yes, sir. The major problem, as I think, will be faced to deal with the growing pollution will be the development of the society, or the development is going throughout the world, which is causing the main reason of the pollution. So that will be the one of the main problems will be faced, that how to tackle with the both. I mean, we should continue the development as well as we should focus on the reduce the pollution. So this balance would be a challenge. I think in the now it is also a challengeable, and it will be challengeable for the future also. So this tackled for to tackle this, we need to find out new ideas that will deal with those pollution, now we to for the energy related issue, we should think about the solar system, or solar panel. We should think to reduce the fuel, I mean, mm, yes, sir. To reduce the fuel, we should think about the solar energy that will reduce the pollution as well. And also, these things we should choose consciously so that we can make a balance between the development and the reduce the pollution.
Yes. Good. Yes. Have you read? Do you know about the Nobel Prize in the world? Do you know what about the history of Nobel Prize?
No, sir.
23rd chemistry.
Yes, sir.
23rd chemistry. Who got the Nobel Prize in chemistry 2023?
So I forgot the name.
Yes.
So are these things also important? I mean,
Yes, important for interview because your background is chemistry. You don't know about the 23rd Nobel Prize. You got it.
yes, sir. I mean, I forgot the name.
Yes, you have to study. You look them over Nobel Prize. What is Nobel Prize? What is the basic principle of Nobel Prize? What is the purpose of Nobel Prize in the world? Yes. And
Yes, sir.
so more history about the Nobel Prize in India. who got it first Nobel Prize in India, last chemistry, and last one who got it Nobel Prize as a Indian.
Okay, sir.
Next day we will discuss.
So, what about the chemistry portion?
Yes, chemistry portion. First we focus on environment portion because 60 to 70 question from CPCB interview is your basic introduction, your MSc 4 semester project, laboratory question, number 3. Number 4 is environment, current schemes of environment, current regarding questions. Number 5 is pollutions, main role of pollution, control pollution, so many questions. And 30% portion is chemistry.
So can we discuss today regarding chemistry? Because I mean, I have prepared the chemistry
Yes.
portion for
Yes,
today.
yes. Now
And
complete. Next, move on chemistry. Yes. Your topic is
yes, sir, thank
chemical
you.
kinetics. Yes. Your
Yes, sir.
topic is chemical kinetics, physical spectro, electro coordination,
Yes, sir.
and NMR. Yes.
Yes, sir.
So first
Yes,
move
sir. Yes, sir.
on. First move on chemical kinetics. What is chemical kinetics?
Okay, sir. Chemical kinetics is basically tells about the rate of a chemical reaction. It deals with the rate of a chemical reaction with time. I mean, yes, sir.
What is the basic principle of chemical kinetics? Explain more.
The basic principle of chemical kinetics is how the rate changes with change in the concentration of the reagent or with change in the temperature. So basically, the chemical kinetics deal with the rate of any reaction, and it wants to focus how the rate is changing with respect to the other variation like reagent, temperature, and all.
Yes. What the difference between rate of reaction, rate law, rate equation?
What is the difference between?
Rate law, rate of reaction, rate of equation.
Rate law is the equation that we get from the. I mean that deals with the rate of the equation. Hmm. Rate rate of the rate law rate of the equation and one more thing.
Rate of law, rate of reaction, rate of equation.
So I don't know that. I mean.
Yes, are you qualified CSI or GATE?
Yes, I have qualified GATE and also CSR. I mean NET. I have NET but not the JRS.
Your rank is net is LS
70, sir.
or GATE?
Gate rank is around 1,800.
Yes, what is the difference between order of reaction and molecularity?
And the order of reaction tells about the in which order the reaction is going on. Like if there is A plus B, which is if we consider a reaction A plus B, which is forming the product C. So the rate of the order of reaction is to the what power of A and B. In what power of A and concentration of A and B affects the rate of the reaction. That will be the order of reaction. And whereas the molecularity of a reaction is how much molecule is reacting. I mean, the number of molecule that is reacting to form the product. That is the molecularity. As the example I said here, the molecularity is 2 and the rate of the order of the reaction is an experimental quantity, so we can get.
Yes. What the difference between order of reaction and zero order of pseudo order of reaction and zero order reaction? What is the difference?
Pseudo order reaction is the reaction when we get and I mean we get a order of reaction from the looking at the reagent, looking at the reaction itself, but it is not. I mean, when if we suppose uh, the hydrolysis of an ester is an pseudo order reaction where it is, I mean, the amount of the water as for pseudo order reaction is a reaction where there is more than one reagent is there, and one reagent's concentration is so high that the change of that reagent is negligible. So we can say that though it is changing, but it is negligible with respect to time. I mean, it is so minute that it is negligible. Then we consider it a pseudo order reaction. But for zero order reaction, it does not depend on the order of. It does not depend on reagent. So this is zero order reaction. So in case of pseudo order reaction, the order will be dependent on any one of the reagent. The other reagent concentration will be negligible, but for zero order reaction, the rate of the reaction would be depend on any of the reagent. So this is the basic difference.
Yes. What the limitation of first order reaction and zero order reaction? Zero order reaction and pseudo order limitation.
Limitation of zero order reaction and zero order reaction.
Yes.
Zero order reaction does not depends on the concentration of the reagent. So with change in concentration, we can't say that. I mean, what is the? I mean, we won't be. We can predict anything. The how the rate is dependent on the concentration change. I mean, then nothing can be predicted. But for pseudo order reaction, for the pseudo order reaction, I mean, we are neglecting the change of the of one reagent, but that we are neglecting. But that could be a limitation, and that is not so accurate.
Yes. Good. Next is what is difference between first order, second order, third order reaction?
The basic difference between these reactions are it depends on, I mean, the power it depends of reagent's concentration. For first of order reaction, the rate of the reaction will depends on the reagent's power to the power 1 only. I mean, that will be linearly dependent on the reagent's concentration. And for second order reaction, the rate of the equation will depends on reagents concentration to the power 2, and third is reagent concentration to the power 3. So for second and first, the change of the rate will be more with addition to reagent in case of second order and third order than compared to the first order. So the change in rate of the reaction will change more for the second order, first order, and those change will be different for each of the order. And for first order, it will be linearly dependent, and second order and third order will be, I mean, change will be more.
Yes. What the limitation of first order, second order, third order? reaction in chemical kinetics?
Sorry, sir, I don't know that. I mean, limitation of those order reaction.
What are the examples of zero order, first order, second order, third order reactions?
Zero order reaction is the first order reaction is any radioactive reaction is first order reaction. Second order reaction is N2O5 decomposition will be the second order reaction. Third order reaction, sorry sir, I can remember about third order and zeroth order. So is the I mean hydrogen abstraction on the palladium surface is a zero order reaction?
Yes, zero order reaction is Haber process, like N2 plus 3H2 is equal to 2NH3. Any catalyst present of catalyst
Okay.
is called a reaction is zero order reaction. Yes.
Okay.
First order reaction example.
First order reaction, any radioactive reaction. Radioactive decay is the first order reaction.
Yes, decomposition of SO2Cl2, SN1 reaction.
Yes.
Second order reaction.
SN2 reaction will be an example of
Yes.
second order reaction.
Yes, SN2. And third order reaction.
I can't remember.
2NO plus O2, 2NO2. Third order reaction.
Okay, sir.
Yes. Now, what is half-life? What is the main basic principle of half-life?
Half-life is the reaction. Half-life is the half-life indicates the time when half of the reaction has been accomplished. So basically, that time refers to the half-life of the reaction.
Half-life for zero order, first order, second order, and third order. What's the formula?
For the zero order reaction, the half-life is A by 2K. For fast order reaction, it is 0.693 divided by K. And for the fast order reaction, it is it is 1 by 2 into initial concentration. And for the third order reaction, sorry sir, I have to calculate that. I can remember the exact value. It most probably it is squared. It will be proportional to the initial concentration square, but I am unable to remember the exact value right now. I need to calculate that.
Yes. Formula is zero order reaction is half A0 upon 2K0. Yes. First order K1.
Yes, sir.
2.303 T log A upon A1 as X. And second
Yes,
order
sir.
K of E is equal to A upon K2A. Yes.
Yes, sir.
How to represent? Graphical represent by zero order, first order, second order.
How to graphically represent zero
Yes.
order?
What's the rate and slot versus rate and concentration?
Okay,
Graph.
I mean, if we okay, zero order rate and concentration will be straight line because it is independent of the concentration. For the first order, I mean not straight line but parallel to x-axis for zero order. for for first order it will be straight line, I mean, and at theta at 45 degree, and straight line passing through origin. And for the second order reaction, it will be parabola type of with I mean concentration. And third order reaction, it will, I don't know the exact name for third order reaction.
Your next topic is, yes, note down. Yes, more explain about the graphical representation. Yes, next day.
Yes, yes.
Yes, next topic is activation energy. What is the basic principle of activation energy in chemical kinetics?
Activation energy is the energy required for a reagent to get into the activated state. I mean, from the activated state only we can get the product. So it is the reagent, it is the amount of energy required for the reagent to get into that activated state.
Yes. What the difference between threshold energy, activation energy, actual energy? What the difference?
Actual energy is the energy that any molecule possesses. That is the actual energy. Activation energy is the required energy for a molecule to get into the activated state, whereas threshold energy is the threshold energy is the energy, both, I mean, summation of the actual energy plus activated energy. That is the threshold energy of any molecule.
Yes. What is the difference between exothermic and endothermic reactions?
Exothermic reaction is the reaction which releases energy with the product, whereas for an endothermic reaction, we need to supply energy for the reaction to proceed in forward reaction.
Any limitation of activation energy?
Limitation of activation energy. If the activation energy of of any reaction is very high, then that won't proceed any. So that will be an limitation of that activation energy.
Yes, try to more explain. Next mock. Yes. Not this limitation of activation.
Okay.
Next is, what is Arrhenius equation? What is the basic principle of Arrhenius equation in chemical kinetics?
Arrhenius equation is the equation that relates the rate constant with the time. So it is the equation k is equals to a into exponential to the power minus of EA by RT, where k is the rate constant, a is the frequency factor, EA is the activation energy required, and T is the temperature, R is the gas constant.
Yes. How to determine and find it of activation value from Arrhenius equation? What the formula?
To get the activation value, we can compare between two temperatures. That is, can compare between two temperature, and we can get the activation. I mean, if we take log of k, then we can get EA. I mean, ln A minus EA by RT T1 at T1 temperature, and same thing we will get for T2 temperature, and we can subtract between those two. So we'll get ln K2 by K1 is equals to EA by R 1 by T1 minus T2. So if we know all the other values E1, E2, R and T1, T2, we can calculate the activation energy.
Yes. Next, what is catalysis?
Catalysis is the process when we increase the rate of any reaction by application of catalyst. Mainly when we introduce the catalyst, then catalyst will find the reaction through a less activation energy pathway. So that is called the catalysis. A reaction that is going through in presence of catalyst is called catalysis.
Yes. Any example of catalysis reaction?
Catalysis reaction example.
Any example of catalysis reaction?
All the reaction and enzyme acts as catalyst in our body, so also this reaction of catalysis reaction. I am not. I can't remember any specific example.
Yeah, last time zero order reaction is also a catalysis reaction. Simple example.
Okay.
Yes, now. N2 plus 3s2 2ns3. Presence of catalyst iron promoter is molybdenum. Is example of catalysis reaction. And also example of zero order reaction.
Okay. So N2 plus 3H2 is equals to 3NH3 and 2NH3. In presence of iron, iron can catalyze this reaction.
Yes. What the role of promoter in catalyst?
Role of promoter.
Yes. Iron oblique is MO. Iron is a catalyst, but MO is a promoter. Yes, no?
Yes,
Increase the rate of reaction by supporter.
okay.
Next is steady state approximation. What's the difference between steady state approximation and equilibrium approximation? What the basic principle of steady state approximation?
Basic principle of steady state approximation is the concept will be applicable only when there is a species formed which has a very short lifetime. But in equilibrium reaction, no such short-lived species is formed, and no such. So we can apply steady state on that. So basic requirement of steady state is a short-lived species should be formed.
Yes. Any limitation of steady state approximation?
The limitation is it can deal with the reaction where the short-lived species won't form, and in some reaction many intermediate forms. That has a longer lifespan. So for those reaction we can apply the steady state approximation.
Yes. Next, move on Lindemann theory. What is Lindemann theory? What is the basic principle of Lindemann theory?
Lindemann theory basically deals with the unimolecular reaction. It deals with it tells about the rate of the reaction when it is an unimolecular reaction. So it tells about the rate of the reaction when the concentration of the reactant is very high and when it has a low concentration. From this criteria, Lindemann theory tells about the rate of the reaction of any unimolecular reaction.
Yes. What the effect of these reaction is in Lindemann theory, low pressure and high pressure?
Uh, in uh, in low pressure, Lindemann theory has an order of fast order reaction, but in low high pressure reaction, it is second order. So, will you repeat the last question once more? The effect of pressure on
What the effect of low pressure and pressure in Lindemann theory?
in low pressure, it will the mechanism will go through the decomposition mechanism. So at the rate equation, we'll find that the rate log will be, I mean, fast order. I mean, it will depend on the reagent concentration, and at last it will be a fast order reaction. But in high pressure, it will be a second order reaction. I mean, it will go through the collision process and collision mechanism, and we'll get a second order rate equation.
Yes. Next is Michelmanson equation. What is Michelmanson equation? Enzyme catalyst. What is the basic principle of this one in chemical kinetics?
Michelmanson constant is, I mean, in enzyme catalyst reaction, we considered the enzyme reacts with the substrate and forms a enzyme substrate complex, and then from the enzyme substrate complex we get the product. So Michelmanson constant is the is a constant which rearranges the ratio of all these equilibrium and the product formation reaction. It is the value is the value for the Michelmanson constant is um, K inverse plus uh, K inverse plus K2 divided by K1. So this is the value of the Michelmanson constant.
Any limitation of Michelmanson equation?
Sorry,
What's the effect of this reaction in Michelmanson equation? Like to Michelmanson is greater than substrate and Michelmanson is less than substrate and Michelmanson equilibrium to substrate. What will be the order of reaction? What will be the effect?
Yes, sir. I mean, if the Michelmanson is equal to the substrate, then the overall order will be independent zero order, and if it is the overall order will be substrate divided by 2. And if the Michelmanson constant is less than substrate, then it will be fast order reaction. If the Michelmanson constant is greater than substrate, then it will be second order reaction.
What is turnover number?
Turnover number is the it says about the frequency of enzyme catalysis. That is, in 1 second, how many number of catalysis is going on. This tells about the turnover number, and mathematically the turnover number is represented by 1 by K2.
How to determine Vmax value in
Sorry,
Michelmanson?
sir. How to determine the
Vmax value.
Vmax is equals to K2 into E0. E0, where E0 is the initial concentration of the enzyme.
Yes, good. Next, move on collision theory. What is collision theory?
Collision theory deals with the collision theory tells about the rate of the reaction when there is a collision occurring between two particles. I mean, it assumes that the reaction is occurring only by collision. So it predicts about the rate of the equation when there is a collision which is the responsible for the reaction to occur.
Yes. What the limitation of collision theory?
Limitation of collision theory. It can tell about the unimolecular. No.
Yes. What is the limitation of collision theory?
I mean, the limitation is every time there is where the collision theory don't deals about the intermediate step. It tells directly about collision of two reagent molecule and getting product directly. It don't deal with the step where we get an intermediate or activated state. So this is the limitation of collision.
Yes. What is activated complex theory, transition state theory?
Activated complex theory or transition state theory deals with it tells about the formation of an activated state or transition state which is basically is in equilibrium with the reagent molecule. So this is
Yes.
the
Any limitation of this theory? Yes. What is the relation between activation energy, enthalpy of activation, and transition state theory? Any relation? Do you have any idea?
what is the relation between
Activation energy, enthalpy, and activation complex theory.
okay I mean the enthalpy change is equal to the activated activation energy plus delta N minus 1 plus RT. So this is the equation with which enthalpy change and activation energy is related with.
Yes. What is the difference between fast reaction and slow reaction? What is the difference?
From the slow reaction we can get the rate equation. I mean on the slow reaction we can imply the steady state reaction, and slow reaction is the termed as the rate determining step. But for fast reaction we can say that it takes much time. It takes less time, and it has a higher rate constant. That is the basic difference between those two. And slow reaction is the rate determining.
Yes. What is salt effect? What is the basic principle of salt effect? Basic application of salt effect in chemical kinetics.
Salt effect. Salt effect basically deals with the enhancement of precipitation in presence of another anion or cation or another substrate. But I can't remember exactly.
Okay. In chemical kinetics, your topic is completed, but some part you are weak. Yes. You look them
Yes,
and try to more improve in next mock.